Hello and welcome to the stream. So today we're actually doing some interesting stuff like swapping with the attacker. So I've actually finished writing it. I'm just gonna submit it first, and then we'll go through how it works. I think this is a very interesting strategy. So let me just do a quick commit. And then we'll do a package to submit this first, and then we'll wait for the evaluation while I go through how it actually works. So let's submit this. This should be doing better than the previous one. That's what I think should happen. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty confident that this one is gonna do better, at least against the attackers. Also, it fixed a few bugs. So the thing is, we did the swap attacker mechanism and collision preparation tweaking. So I'll go through like how it works. Through an example. So let's turn on the debugging. Okay, so this is against other players. So this one is actually pretty easy. See here, we're winning. We're winning this not by a lot, but one thing I found out is that in the late game, there's actually a lot of collision happening. So you don't necessarily want to prevent collision. Right, so this is one of the changes I made in the collide vector. So I added a special clause. Right, say if we have more than 10 shipyards or equal to 10, we don't really care about colliding. So in that way, in the late game, we don't have so many, collide thing going on. We're just like focus on spawning to the minimum threshold and maybe defending, maybe just sending out ships in general. Just sending out ships in general to collect as much minerals as we can. There's still a lot of spawn as mean threshold. I think this is unavoidable when you're fighting other players for territory. So I'm gonna keep this one. And the other thing we did to address the attacker is pretty interesting. Let's run a game and I'll show you how it works. Let's just run this one. No, I think with this strategy, I'm almost getting like 100% win rate against a single attacker. Actually, the idea is pretty simple. You just swap the base with the attacker once you have more ships than the attacker. So let's run through a round of simulation here. Okay, it already happened. So like in this case, right? So the attacker sent out, the red one, sent out 50 ships to attack us. And we actually prepare for it by building more ships. Now we have 53. The next turn is gonna send out a ship with 53, and there's a chance that they might collide, and there's a chance that they might not collide. It depends on the flight path. So I didn't set it to be like deterministic whether to hit the enemy ship or evade it, but I set the target to the enemy base. So you can see here it's going to the enemy base. So one of the two things can happen. One is it evades the enemy ship and go straight to the enemy base. In that case, we will swap base with the enemy, and hopefully, other people will take out the attacker, because the attacker tend to not do well on the economy side. So there's high chance it's gonna taken out by other people. The second case, which is what we're seeing here, is we just hit the attacker with more ships, and in that way we keep our base. We still keep our base, and this ship is gonna actually occupy the attacker because we calculated that we have more ships than the attacker, right? So now we have two bases instead of one. So this gives us a slight advantage because the cores are actually transferable between different bases. So like we can collect core from this base and build ships on the other base. So like, you know, we're not worried about the other ship being useless. So in this way, you can see we're having much more territory control in the late game because we have two bases and we can win very easily. There's also a case where we evade the enemy ship, and I think that one works pretty well as well. Let's see if we can simulate that with another round of simulation. Also, I think let's check out the competition leaderboard. Okay, it's not playing yet. Okay, it's fine. At least it passed the simulation round. So let's see this one. Okay, it still hit the it still hit the thing. Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, it's the same thing. We occupy the top one, and we should be doing pretty well. There's some cases where, you know, the other person just develops better than us, like this one. But in general, we are doing pretty good in the late game. Either number 1 or number 2. Very, very rarely we'll get number 3. So that's very good. Let's see. Try the other one. Okay, is this the one where? Oh, okay, this is the one where we swap. So you can see it comes out here, and we took a different path than him. So he took our base, and we didn't lose a game because we still have ships. So we take over his base, and now he's gonna do some random stuff, collecting core. But I think the attacker's primary mining thing is not very good. So you can see he's trying to attack us again, and I think, yeah, we actually detected his attack here, and because we're better at mining, we have more ships. So he sent out 50 ships to attack us here. You can see he's sending out 50 ships to attack us, and we actually send out 57 ships here. Let's see here, 57 ships. And then we swap base with him again. Okay, so this is quite costly because like all the time we spend swapping base, we could have been mining, right? So it's not exactly good. But now he's pretty dead to me, so it gives us the chance to expand, you know, at a later stage. So yeah, I think with this one we're pretty lucky that we actually outfarmed the green. Somehow we're still building ships at very late stage. I guess it's unavoidable for territory control, so I guess it's fine. So maybe we can tune it a little bit more, but yeah, that's the main idea behind this, and I think it's doing pretty well. I should do pretty well. Let's see. Okay, no surprises there. I think it's gonna take. Let's maybe watch yesterday's competition. I think the yesterday's boss also did pretty well. It doesn't have the swap mechanism, so it will actually lose in some situations. I'll show a very interesting episode, but let's watch this one where we won. Okay, so let's see. Did we get an attacker? Yes, we did get an attacker, and we just basically took the hit. We're fine. I think the red attacked us. Let's see how the red is doing later. Yeah, once the red attack us, both our ships are gonna be like much less than the others. Oh, actually, I think in this case, wait, when did he attack us? Okay, here, okay. See, here we have 80 core, and on the next turn we have 43 core. Okay, anyway, I can't see how much core we got from there. I think we should have gotten some core. Let's see, let's zoom this a little bit. Yeah, it's not immediately clear what happened on this turn, so we just assume we got some core. And you can see both our ship count drop. Like I had 91 ships and he had 78. And these two guys are not doing so well, right? So after we lost ships, I become number 3 in terms of ship count. He become number 4. So like we are both in recovery mode. And somehow magically I occupied the center. Not sure how, but yeah, I think that was luck. That was pretty much luck, I guess. There's another interesting case where we got attacked by two attackers. I think it's this one, which is pretty interesting. I don't think I could have done anything better to deal with this, apart from maybe swapping. I think swapping is a valid strategy if two attackers attack us, right? So let's watch this one. So actually these two guys are both attackers. You can see later. You can see here the blue one is coming to us with 58 ships and we have 64. So we took a hit and both of us drop our ship count to 6. And while the others will have 68 and 58. So we're basically screwed if anybody else attacks us, right? So let's see here. I think the pink is gonna make a move very soon. And now we're like in recovery mode, right? So now the pink makes a move, sending out 100 ships directly towards us. But like we only have 18 ships, so there's literally nothing we could have done except for swapping the base with him. But like that also, maybe you could have swapped base like with both blue and pink. Maybe that would actually work. I don't know. But yeah, like basically at this point we're doomed. Yeah, so actually this is the reason why I came up with the swap strategy. I feel like if the enemy is overwhelmingly more ships than you should just abandon the base and take over other base, because like if you only have 24 ships like this one, you can't actually spawn a shipyard. So the only way for you to continue playing this game is to take over some other people's shipyard with more ships than what the enemy has. So in this case, what I could have done is send maybe 10 ships to each of this shipyard, like 12 ships. So I send 12 here, I send 12 here. So maybe there's still a chance for me to continue playing this game. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty unlucky. We got hit twice, so there's nothing we could have done there. Yeah, let's see the latest submission. I think it should technically do better. Let's get the discussions. Nobody has replied to us yet. Yeah, I also found a bug yesterday regarding the TypeScript agent. Let's see. I don't think people have replied to it yet. Yes, some people haven't replied to it yet. So I guess that's it. So we're just gonna wait for the thing to complete and maybe improve it further. So let's actually name our bot main 6. And then we can work on something else. I plan to do some development for my game later, so I'll switch the stream to the game development later. So we've done fix this, we've done the swap base, it's attacker, So these are all done already. And I think the strategy one is pretty interesting because I saw some other games like from the past, people been playing with like some kind of grand strategy. Yeah, some kind of grand strategy. So let's see. This one. This one. This one, if I go to the discussion, this top guy, he actually mentioned that he used some high-level strategies. So this is quite similar to what I plan to do. So I'm gonna like come up with a few strategies and let the maybe use ML or research to decide on which strategy to use, and then within each strategy I will write specialized logic to optimize each strategy. So we will leave the high level strategy to ML and write very specialized rules within each strategy, like micro strategies. I think this will do well in this kind of games. But again, I'm not too sure. I also have to write a interpreter for the TS because now I can't run the simulation with just TS. I have to run the Python thing to get the result, which is not ideal. It's a lot of work involved in running this simulation, so I'm gonna look forward to writing the interpreter for this game. Actually, yeah, actually I asked the organizer if we can get the interpreter, and I was encouraged to write my own, so I guess I'll just have to write my own. Like this one should be relatively simple. I took a look at it, but the thing I found is that I couldn't initialize the environment with Node, so it's just reading the environment from somewhere. I presumably there's some Python code to generate the initial setup environment, the observations. So what I mean is observations like this one. I think there should be an initial observation somewhere that you can generate, but I couldn't find the code to generate it in TypeScript, so I'm assuming there's some Python code to do that, and I maybe I have to write that. So that's gonna take a lot of time, I feel like, to write the simulation. Yeah, so this is where I am right now. I think this one should easily get to top 3 and take over the previous best. Maybe we'll take top 2 if we're lucky. I don't know. I think the top 1 and 2 are both attackers, which is why they're like beating everybody else. It's like a mixture of attacker and other strategies. Like if you're a pure attacker, you're not gonna get to top 1 or 2 because there always be other people who are better than you, right? So you're not gonna get top 1. So I feel like they are a mixture of different agents. Maybe like even ensemble, or just a randomized probability of alternating between different strategies, like that could even work. Yeah, very excited to see how this work out. Yeah, I think that's all for this stream. For the swap logic, so it's pretty interesting. Actually, we haven't looked at the swap logic, right? Let's actually look at how the swap works. I think it's pretty easy to understand. So we got our swap target from the defend collide detection thing. So once we are within the collide distance, so we're still gonna do the defend, and this only happens after the collide within the collide distance, which is about 12, and we have like their ship count is very high, our ship count is higher than their ship count, and our ship count is higher than enemy shipyard ship count, and enemy only have one shipyard. We're gonna do a swap. So think we could have removed this one, but I don't know. I could have removed this one actually, make it smarter. Then we'll just do the swap and set the swap targets. So we're just gonna launch a ship with shortest path. I modify the shortest path to make it more probabilistic. So it's taking a probabilistic approach to which route to take. Yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully somebody will find this useful, I guess. Yeah, I think I will start another stream soon to develop my own game. So if you're interested, you can watch. Okay, that's the end of the stream.